We are going to be healing childhood traumas, healing adulthood traumas, because baby, they there too. Hey y'all, happy new year. It is 2024. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. I'm always excited for a new year because that does bring new goals and more people are like super hyper focused on their goals. I am happy to be here. I'm happy we made it to another year, and thank you for tuning in. I wanted to talk about today something that's really, really important to me and something that I actually just found last year, and that is peace. Finding peace is something, it takes as long as you need it to take. It can take months, it can take years, but a lot of people are not at peace with a lot of things because mainly they don't know what to do or how to get there. And since I have found my peace and I am in a very peaceful state of mind, and your peace is your everything. If you're not at peace, you're going to constantly be at battle with yourself, with your skeletons, with everybody, with the world, with the universe. I love a good cliche quote. But if something is costing your peace, it's too expensive, that quote is very powerful because peace is everything. And if something is out here causing you to not be at peace, baby, get it up out of there. It gotta go. Especially we in a whole new year. If they in last year, you're going to have to leave them in last year. This is going to be a series because y'all know I love a good long video, but this would probably be like 2 or 3 hours and there's just no way I would not do that to y'all. And I also wanted to do it in steps because it is a process. You don't have to do everything that I'm going to tell you in the order that I'm going to tell you, but it probably would work because it's probably going to come at a weekly upload. I don't know yet. I haven't figured all of that out, but I wanted to go ahead and record this one first. I am getting over a cold, so if I sound a little off, just let it ride. But I think I sound pretty good, but you never know until you play it back and you sound like Chewbacca. We just gonna see. But either way, I wanted to get this done. It is January 2nd. It was supposed to happen yesterday, but I was still fighting for my life. But I'm here. I'm pretty much better outside of a little bit of mucusy and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So this is part 1. This is called Starting Your Journey. It's going to be about a 6-part series that I'm going to try and do weekly. Go ahead and get you something to write with, something to write on, or if you put it in your iPad, iPod. Do they even still have iPods? However you take notes, you need to take notes, especially if peace is something that you really, really have been craving lately, because when I tell you, I am hot mess central, and if I can find peace through everything that I've been through and how people have done me, you can too, I promise you. And I'm going to help you in any way that I can. All right. Number 1, I want to talk about why it's important to find your peace. Number 1 is because you will experience more gratitude, appreciate the little things that come in life. You won't be so angry all the time. You won't allow people to take you out of your character. And most importantly, baby, your mental health is everything. And finding your peace is going to help you heal so many things with your mental health. I'm telling you, of course, every day is not going to be rainbow and sunshine. That's just what it is. But most days, your good days are definitely going to outweigh your bad days. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is realize that it is a process. And you have to be prepared to deal with whatever comes with that process. Because baby, the moment that you start watching this video and watching this series, the tests are going to come. And I'm talking immediately. The moment you decide that you're really going to actively seek and find your peace and your happiness, everything under the sun is going to try you. But you're already going to be prepared because you know that that's what comes with this process. That's what comes with the territory. So you're already equipped, but literally know that it's going to be a process. And we're going to talk about that more in the rest of the series. But just know it is a process. So once you start this process, the very first things first, you need to figure out what is disturbing your peace. And I'm talking anywhere from the people that you're dealing with now to stuff that has happened to you in the past, even down to your childhood. You need to figure out what is something that's reoccurring that constantly comes in and disrupts your peace. This is the thing that you could be perfectly fine, be having the best day, and that one thing comes and ruins your whole day. And we all have them. For example, mine would be negative people and negative energy. I am an empath. If you don't know what an empath is, you literally take on other people's emotions and energies. And it is good and it is bad. It's bad when people have constant negative energy and people that are just always upset or nothing is ever going right with that. And I get it. Life is hard. We all have it. But people that are constantly in a negative state with negative energy, that is something that triggers me. And it's important to know that because some people can deal with that. I know I can't deal with that. I can't be around it because I take that on. And then now all of a sudden their energy is up on me and I was just fine. And I don't understand because you don't let your energy hop on me. So that's an example. You can't let people or things that suck that peace and that happy place from you. So if you're a person that you have a person that's in your life, whether it's a person that's been in your life for a long time or a short period of time, if you find yourself, you're fine, you're happy until you get with them every single time, I'm not saying cut them off, but if you've done your part, you try to help them and they just can't see the light, maybe you can't help them. It's something that they have to do for themselves. You can't guilt yourself into staying and trying to help them get through that stuff. We are grown, we are adults. Everybody has a life to live. Everybody goes through things, and you can't continuously damage your inner peace trying to fix somebody else. Like, some people just need to go get other help. That's just that. So let's say it may not be a person or people. It could be something like a location. If something happened to you at a place and every time you go back to that place or you're around that place, you're triggered, you're disturbed, your energy is off, then you need to stop going to that place. But you don't know what you don't know. So you need to figure out what is it that is triggering you. And that's why I say you need to know what your triggers are, because you need to know how to avoid them or how to work through them. Finding your triggers is easier said than done, especially if you don't even realize that you're being triggered. I'm going to go over just a few common triggers, and a lot of people's common triggers are childhood traumas. I don't care what anybody says. People are so quick to say, like, that happened so long ago. Why are you still worried about that? You're grown now. Our childhood shapes who we are as an adult. So if there's something that happened in your childhood, I don't care if you are 60. If you haven't figured it out and you can't figure out why this still triggers you, you need to figure it out. You need to figure out what is it about whatever happened to you that triggers you, that takes away that happiness and that peace that you found. I don't care how old you are, period, because your childhood affects you. And especially in adulthood, if you did not work through it in childhood. That's just what it is. So if somebody says you need to get over it, tell them they need to get over it. They need to get over themselves, because childhood affects you, period, point blank. That just is what it is. So childhood trauma is something that really is a very, very common trigger. And by knowing this, you need to figure out if it's a person from your childhood, a place from your childhood, just your overall childhood, because depending on what it is, depends on how you handle it and how you let that stop protecting your peace. Another common trigger, honestly, and this is gonna be something that's gonna be harder for a lot of people to realize, but it's your friends. You have a person or friends in your life, and you may not even realize it, that are what I call them closet haters. They're people that never have anything good to bring you, never have anything good to say. And the moment that you tell them something good about yourself, it all switches up. Their whole energy shifts. Like, you could tell, like, dang, I thought you would have been happy for me, but they just like, yeah, that's cool. That's a trigger, because for me, especially for me, because one thing my friends know, I'm gonna celebrate you. I'll just celebrate my people's accomplishments. I love to see people win. I love to see people that I don't even like win, because life is hard and I just like to see people win. But there's some people that genuinely do not like to see people win, and a lot of them are in your circle and you don't realize it, but that's a trigger. Because have you ever told a friend something and then their energy is not matched up and aligned to yours, and then your whole moment is just ruined because they was real dry about it? That's a trigger, and that's something, and you need to address it. Or if you have addressed it and energy don't change, like, that's just not your friend. I always say address it first, but if you address it and they still not moving or returning that energy, and that's something that triggers you and your peace and your happiness, then I'm not saying get rid of them, but I'm just saying you could create a little distance. And everybody is different, so this may sound crazy to somebody else, But to you, you may be like, oh my God, I feel that. So your peace journey is not about comparing it to anybody else's. Everybody's not even going to agree with what I have to say right now, but it's true. People around you that don't show you the same love and energy that you show them when they win, that is very much a peace trigger, because you like, dang, like, you ain't giving me the same energy that I give you every time you tell me something. Lastly, another common trigger to your peace and happiness is social media. I know we all have our social media. Everybody loves social media. Well, I wouldn't say love. We all pretty much have social media. And a lot of people have to be on social media because they have businesses or they want to grow. And social media is very triggering. Social media will jack your peace all up, baby, because it's a bunch of people that are also miserable in their own lives. They'll see you happy, and their main objective is to make you upset or make you feel less than, or that you're not good enough. If you don't block them people, there's two options that you can do with that. You can hit them with a blizzard, or you can do like me. You control them back. You can match their energy. Because for me, like, I'm so at peace with myself. You can't break me. I done broke myself down. Way worse than anything on this earth can do to me. So I'm going to troll you back. I am going to troll you back because, hey, you want to play mind games, you want to hurt people's feelings, I'm going to hurt yours too. But everybody's not like me. You need to figure out how you're going to deal with that. But social media is very much a trigger. And if you are constantly being triggered on social media, you need to figure out how you can change your algorithm, how you can stop seeing certain things, or how you can stop running into certain people. But just know it's social media. There's always going to be a way. So you got to figure out the best way to deal with that. And if it's something that, if your peace is constantly being triggered and you have to take a break from social media, like, that's okay too. Find your peace first and then come back. Because then you'll be like me and ready to be out here trolling, okay? There are lots of common triggers. I could go all day long, but those are your most common ones. You're going to go in, you're going to do the work and figure out what's triggering you. So that's number one. Number one in starting your healing journey and finding your peace is finding your triggers. Back in the day, my list of triggers would have been like 5 pages long because I had a lot of stuff that I needed to work through. And that's okay. Like, if you feel like you're problematic because you have all these triggers, I'm telling you, you're not. It just takes time to really go in and do the work and write it down and look at it. But trust me, finding peace is intense, but it's worth it because you're going to go and you're going to do the work. You're going to do the internal work. And that's how you are going to really get in there and find that peace. Okay? Write it down. The best way that I can say do it is think about a moment in time when you were at your happiest. I'm talking up here, like ready, thriving, willing. And think about what took that moment away from you. And see if that's something that is constantly reoccurring. If that's something that's a constant reoccurring, or if the same person or the same event or if something keeps showing up constantly that took away your moment of happiness, that's a trigger. And you don't want to think about it like that because it's like, it could be your best friend or somebody or your lover or your partner. You don't want to think about it, but they are very well a trigger. And it doesn't mean you have to cut them off, but I'm just saying, you need to figure out the trigger because through the rest of this series, I'm going to help you figure out how to deal with those triggers. It doesn't always mean leaving that person or getting away from that person or not talking to a family member anymore. It could just mean maybe counseling or maybe therapy. But I'm not going to go too much because number one, I don't want this video to be long because y'all know how I do. But I do want y'all to know you have to figure out your triggers. It's going to take a lot of work. But even after watching this video, take a week or 2 weeks and really sit down and figure out when is your mood or your happiness being affected and see if it's a reoccurring theme. So we're going to start there. So number one in your peace series, start to figure out your triggers and what is taking away your happiness. That's all I'm going to leave y'all with today. And like I said, it's going to be a series. So the best thing that you can do is subscribe so you can keep up with the series. I am going to try and post it once a week until the series is over. I'm not going to make a guarantee though because, I be getting distracted and I be doing too much. I be having a lot going on at a lot of times, but my ultimate goal is to do this once a week. So that way by February, y'all be ready and willing and at peace. And then the rest of your year, you're going to be like, we are going to be healing childhood traumas, healing adulthood traumas, because baby, they there too. Basically, we just going to be healing and finding peace and figuring out how to be happier with ourselves, but mainly about finding peace, y'all. Peace is everything. So I really, really, really want y'all to stay tuned, stay subscribed, turn on the notifications if you have to. Whatever you have to do, don't miss this series. I'm super excited. So keep your book, whatever you did to keep your notes, keep that, because we're going to be going through the whole process over the next 6 weeks. And that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm going to see y'all for part 2.